So, this image, a little meme here, has been making its way around Twitter the last couple of weeks, and I came across it the other day, and I really want to talk about it, because, as you can probably tell from the Nora Freeze video, which I am so happy did as well as it did, by the way, because I think I genuinely happened across something important with that video. How our current day culture is unironically poisoning entertainment, is poisoning us on a societal level by taking something beautiful, like the Heart of Ice, Nora Freeze, and degrading her in the most immoral and desecrative way imaginable, turning the perfect wife into a tramp-stamped airport whore. But before I toot my own horn too much here, this means of course that I've been watching a lot of old school entertainment. Batman the Animated Series, obviously, Justice League, Lois and Clark, the live action series from 1993, there you go. And let me tell you, it is not rose-tinted glasses. Things, entertainment, was just better back then. Flat out. Better characters, better acting, better writing, better development and presentation overall. But again, we're wandering a little bit off topic here. So, this. When a lady in a video game has a jawline. Oh, they're giving this female character a strong jawline. But don't strong jawlines make characters look heroic? No, and we'll get into that in a moment. No, that only applies to male characters. Correct, unironically. So, what makes a woman look heroic? Tiny waist, massive tits. So this is intended as a dunk on those dirty, filthy charts who just like to sexualize their characters so much just to make them fetish materials. Owned. Not really. So here's the thing. This is either hilariously uncharitable, ignorant, or just actively malicious, and I tend to lean towards the third in these cases. So, what makes a female character look heroic? We actually know this. We can look at old drawing tutorials. We've even got tutorials made by Stan Lee on this. How to make superhero characters look heroic regardless of gender. And I know this will blow your mind here in 2024, as this is kind of lost knowledge, but men and women, they're different. I know. In terms of musculature, in terms of skeletal structure, many of these things are actually different, and if you wish to create a heroic-looking character, you need to emphasize these differences. You need to go with the heroic proportions that maximize the things that we like to see with that particular character and that particular gender. Let's refer to the whole, like, tiny waist, massive tits. So, those damned men, they just want their little Barbie dolls. Let's have a look at Batman from the animated series, the famous opening. Do you notice something here? Do you notice that Batman's chest is about twice the width of his hips? Is that realistic? No, it is the heroic proportions. Tiny waist, massive tits, but on men. And since it is something that women can sexualize, nobody really cares. You can look at it in the Justice League. Look at just how hilariously enormous Superman and Batman is compared to Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman is pretty much as strong as Superman, and yet he looks like he weighs about 5 times as much as her. Heroic proportions, because making a female character look heroic is different than a male character. Before we get to stuff like the drawing tutorials, let's have another, example. Batman the Animated Series, Batwoman, or Batgirl at that point, and Selina Kyle, Catwoman. You may notice a few things. First and foremost, the face, the eyes. Batman just has little white triangles, whereas Batgirl actually has openings in her mask to show off her eyes, as the eyes is one way to make a character look feminine. The little eyeliner swoop at the end there, the fact that they even have like eyes with pupils and irises, etc. The mouth, obviously, lipstick, a softened jawline, and the hair on Batgirl as well, to add another softer, wavier outline to her. That is how you make a character look feminine, and how you make a feminine character look heroic. As for the tiny waist, massive tits, neither Selina Kyle or Batgirl really has what you'd call like pornographic outline tits here. These aren't manga tits where they're larger than their heads or anything. Selena can as well. Now, Selena actually has a fairly flat and strong jawline, as she is, well, a master thief, etc. But again, wide open spaces ahead of the eyes. You have also the eyes more centrally mounted. You have the swoop again, you have the lipstick. These are ways to make a female character look different from a male character. And we can also look at the details one. For example, one of the reasons why the character on the example image looks kind of weird, looks kind of, well, just straight up manly. Even though he's added on lipstick to her, he's also added on the eyeliners to make her look more feminine, because I guarantee you, as he was drawing the meme, he sat there, yeah, shit, she does look like a man, doesn't she? Okay. Pronounced lips, rounded eyes. So there you go. Now she looks just slightly more feminine. But also notice that her eyes are roundabout in the center of her head, making her look, well, pudgy and square and like little dumpily. Why is that? Look at Batman. Look at how high on his head his eyes are. Why? Because on male superheroes, if you give them the massive chin, it makes their face look off. It gives them a very long-looking face. And so if you put the eyes where they're supposed to be, their face will look weird, like they have their eyes down here or something, which is why they place them high up. Female characters, different. Since you don't have the exaggerated chin, you can place the eyes in more or less the correct location, position. That's the word I was looking for. Again, softer jaw, softer eyeline, more pronounced cheekbones. This is how you make a heroic-looking female character. And nobody's going to argue that they don't look heroic either. And we can go further on yet again with the musculature. The hallmark of any male superhero, the most enormous chest imaginable. Of course, nobody complains about this. You never see Woke's Twitter look at it and go, how dare you sexualize the male form? Don't you know this is literally impossible? Because it damn near pretty much is. And on the female form, again, you don't give them the enormous chest, because that is not the point. If you gave them, on a character like this, enormous tits, it would look off. What you're looking for is softened form, softer curves. You are intending to give the impression of something lithe, something agile, something fluid and soft. Whereas for the male characters, you're looking for the opposite. You're looking for solid, you're looking for hard, you're looking for imposing. Because again, if you are making a female character, you're not making a male character. And that really does need to be pointed out, apparently, in this day and age. As even on the meme picture, I want to just hammer this point home. Even on the meme picture, he gives her shorter hair. He gives her a little bit of a wavy one. He gives her the pronounced lips. He gives her the extra eye details. All because deep down, as an artist, he understands that there is a difference between drawing a woman and drawing a man. And if, once you're done drawing it, you cannot tell the difference, that's a bad drawing. Again, the fact that this needs to be pointed out. It is an almost entirely malicious thing. It's not an honest observation that they're making here. It is trying for a get you moment. Because again, if you were to go into manga, you would see the exact same thing. You would see exaggerated facial proportions, and even more so in manga. And may I remind you as well that manga is currently kicking comics' ass in terms of sales? It turns out that what sells is actually what people want, weirdly enough. Which is why, again, you can see in the old school drawing tutorials, when people actually had to sell their drawings rather than simply collect a paycheck at the end of the month, regardless of how poorly their creative pursuits actually are going. You had to make appealing characters. That is what the market wants. They do not want realism. It's simply not the desirable thing in superheroes. Nobody wants a superhero that looks like your average guy. Even Peter Parker, who is, small for a superhero, is ripped like hell because he is intended to be an ideal. Even the average Joe superhero, the common man in the street superhero, looks like a world-class athlete bodybuilder. it is the same for females. This is a very, very stupid point, and should be laughed at, mocked, and brought up as an excellent example of how even they themselves understand the point that they are trying to refute. Again, it's not rose-tinted glasses. Stuff was actually just better back then, and you should not be ashamed to point that out. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Have a good day.